Tonight holds terror too horrible to be seen.
Okay. Well, you've clicked on it. You know what you're in for. We'll give a fair warning. I can't give spoiler-free warning because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But what I can tell you is this. You have clicked on a movie that will be spoiled for you the ReTried It way. Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we attempt yet another... another type of form to get views on this channel. Subscribers, come on, man. We need people to start coming in here. We need people to start watching. We need people to actually, I don't know that we exist. Oh, why did I name it ReTried It? I probably should have named it something else. Okay, so we're going to try our best to do this as easy as possible. Remember, this is the entire movie. It's going to be commentated by me. However, keep in mind that you're not going to actually see the movie. You know that YouTube does not allow that due to copyright and restrictions and everything else in between. However, we're going to give it a shot. This is the full movie. You're not going to see it, but you're going to hear me tell you about it. So think of it this way. Remember when your best friend would actually watch the movie, maybe on a Sunday night or whatnot, that he would show up on Monday morning, and at school he would pretty much tell you everything that happened in the movie? Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm essentially going to tell you the entire movie, walk you through everything that I can, give you the ReTried Easter egg hunt, all the little homages that I saw to previous movies, and more than that, you're going to be able to see the actual movie itself in full length, just not visually. So we're going to use your imagination, like in the old days when you used to have a radio. Remember when they had radios back then and you would listen to the radio? Well, this is your radio version of the movie. So again, please enjoy Halloween Kills. Thank you, Peacock, for allowing me to screen record this. Well, I don't know if you allowed me to do it, but I did it anyway, so here we go. Any views, people? Any views? Okay, so we start with the intro screen to Big Globe. I'm gonna describe everything. Welcome to ReTried It. Universal. Okay. So this is the Universal intro. Very good. We really need those Universal monsters to come back. A Comcast company. Oh man, I didn't know that. That's pretty sad. Comcast owns Universal. My goodness. Do they? I mean, they own everything. Like everybody owns everybody. Miramax. Okay, I remember them. I can't believe they're still in business. Okay. Media Group and Viacom. What? Okay, I don't know what that said. Another introduction. Oh man, you gotta love all these collaborations that they do. So this is I'm not sure who this is. Blumhouse. Oh yeah, Blumhouse. They're the ones that have recreated all these movies. They did pretty good with the Jason ones. This one, okay, Universal Pictures, Miramax, and Blumhouse present. You got basically like Malik. This is essentially just a rewind of the previous movie, which they did a really good job, by the way. They really sucker you back into the past. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is actually the continuation of the last movie. So where last we left off, there was that dude. I don't know names. I don't know people. I'm gonna try my best. He was the boyfriend of the main girl, the granddaughter of Laurie Strobe or Myers. I'm not even sure. There he is, dressed in his transvestite outfit. Yeah, he's the one that dressed like a woman, and for some reason or another, grabbed her cell phone and threw it inside of a tub of cheese. I'm not sure. Yeah. So he's calling on the phone one of his buddies. He's trying to see, where his chick is at. The buddy that he's calling is the gentleman who was strung up on the metal rake. One of the guys that saw Michael Myers in the dark, and then the lights turned on. Every time they turned on, he got closer. He's right on top of the metal rake, so he's outside, and now he sees the police officer that was killed. You remember when the police officer and the doctor found Michael Myers, that the doctor's head got completely smashed by Michael Myers' foot? I mean, destroyed. Well, he's going to see, this young transvestite is going to see the police officer lying down on the ground. So he gets down. Wow, he's actually wearing the entire outfit. That's unbelievable. It's too bad he doesn't have the wig on. Although his curly hair kind of makes it good. So he's laying all over the police officer who's dead, and he's holding his neck. There's a lot of neck injuries in this movie, by the way. This is the first neck injury. And he wakes up. He's actually alive. Hawkins, Officer Hawkins. You remember? The guy from what's that movie? Armageddon, the one the stepfather. That so he's telling the guy he needs to die. The transvestite is being told by Hawkins. Hawkins is telling him, he needs to die. Transvestite asks, who needs to die? And Hawkins says, he needs to die, and I'm the one that's going to get him. So he'll probably kill him in part 3. Yeah, by the way, there is going to be a part 3. So they go back, Haddonfield, Halloween night, 1978. This was awesome. When I saw this, I was like, what? And they went back, man. This is like the remake. I loved it. I love this part. So you're essentially right now in Halloween 1978 with music, with sound. Visually, it looks good. It's, it's 4K. It's got its good, high definition. But the same outfits, the police officers. You have a young Hawkins with his gun. By the way, Hawkins, man, you need shooting lessons, buddy. Like, seriously. So he shoots like 4 rounds and they all miss. He saw Michael Myers, by the way. Sorry, I got carried away there. Yeah, it's 1978, man. Going back in time to see this, first spoiler of the movie, you are going to be taken back to 1978. They're essentially trying to create the other side of the story, the other parts that you did not see when you saw the original movie. So he's getting a call from the rest of his team. There's 4 young guys. These are basically the cops that should have been finding Michael Myers in part 1 and part 2. Not the cops that you saw with that goofy music and the bleep, bloop, 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 bloop every time they will come on. So they're all getting together as a group. The Hawkins partner and him are going to track him through Market Street. The other 2 are going to track him somewhere else. They're all young. These are young. Okay, so this guy, the partner, he starts talking about knowing Michael Myers. He's being asked, was he the type that clipped wings off of butterflies and all that? The other guy's like, no, he never did any of that. And Hawkins is explaining, well, yeah, but he killed his sister just when he was a kid. The other guy's like, oh, he was staring at the sister's window. And they're like talking about, oh, this is Haddonfield, simple town, nothing ever happens, And then one day Michael Myers just snapped. I'm trying to give you word for word what they're saying. Also, my own input. Again, I would really love to watch the movie with you or have you see the movie, but come on, man, YouTube copyright. What can I tell you? So now you have a bunch of kids who are making fun of Lonnie. You gotta have a Lonnie. Every movie needs to have a Lonnie. I love Lonnie. Oh man, it reminds me of freaking In Living Color and Lonnie the lawyer. Maybe you can see a clip of that. So it's 3 kids making fun of Lonnie, telling him, that he's a sissy, he's a wuss. They're taking his candy. And he's getting beat up by like girls, man. And they're the Mulaney's. Not sure what that means. I'm sure in the future the Mulaney's will come out. So now a police officer comes to the 4 kids. And the Mulaney's are like, yeah, they're trick-or-treating with Lonnie. They're bullying him. Police officers asking, have they seen anyone with a mask? The kids respond sarcastically, it's Halloween. Obviously, everyone's wearing masks. The police officer tells them, go to lock your doors. The kids say, why? What did he do? And they say, he murdered 3 teenagers. And then he leaves. Yeah, that's basically your happy Halloween. So the kids leave Lonnie. And this was weird. I didn't understand this until, later on when you realize who Lonnie is. And you're like, oh, okay. So they're basically just creating characters that never existed before. And they did a really good job, by the way. A really good job. But they could have done anything. They could have done, I don't know, the person that showed Michael Myers how to drive, which, wasn't a really good driver. But I'm sure he needed to show Michael Myers. But this worked. This worked. And part 3 might actually have more of that. By the way, like I was saying before, there is a part 3 confirmed. I'm not spoiling that. That was confirmed when all 3 of these movies were, signed on to be created. I don't know why they do that. Kind of makes it, stupid because you're watching a movie where he's not going to die in part 1 or in part 2. Otherwise, why would there be a part 3? But anyways, so now, oh man, Michael Myers shows up. And poor Lonnie, he's on the ground. Oh yeah, he tripped over something. He's Lonnie, come on. And he cowers like a little B. Help me, please, help me. Oh no, he's right there. Michael Myers is right on top of him. Michael Myers does not kill kids, so there's like a big jump scare. The 2 police officers show up, Hawkins and his partner. I don't know what his partner's name is. I'm sure they said it, but I don't really, whatever, it's not that important. You'll know soon enough. So they're playing the music. Where is he? Says Lonnie, and the cops say, where's who? He says the boogeyman, and they play the old music. They did a really good job with the old what's his face? The soundtrack from the guy that created this movie. I can't remember right now. I'll remember soon enough. John Carpenter, like the old track, and they're in front of Michael Myers' old house. So now Hawkins and his partner are walking into the house. They think he's possibly in there, and they're doing this so well. They're playing the slow version of the song. I don't think I could put that in there because of copyrights, but you know what I mean. The dun, 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 dun. Yeah, wow. Hey, I told you, this is ReTried. This is what we do. So both cops go inside of the house. They're downstairs, got their lights flashing. They're calling out to each other. Oh, okay. The partner finds the dead dog. You remember that famous dead dog from, I guess it was part 2 or part, can't remember which part it was, where they find the dead dog on the second floor, where it was assumed that Michael Myers eats dead dogs. Or, well, he wouldn't eat him alive, but you know what I mean. He kills him and he eats him, and that was his. Actually, it might have been a Resurrection where they showed that, the whole thing about dogs. But yeah, they find the dead dog upstairs. They both go upstairs. They're trying to open a closet. They're both standing in front of the closet. Music plays. They open the closet and it's empty. Oh boy. Really, really tense. Remember, this is 1978. This is right after part 1, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right before part 2. So they're going upstairs to the abandoned house. Man, this house gets more play than freaking Nightmare on Elm Street and the Krueger residence. Although they did a really good job. I'm surprised Blumhouse, although they might be the ones that redid that other movie, I'm not sure. But they should really attack freaking Nightmare on Elm Street. They do a really good job. This is what ReTried is all about. It's basically just like Blumhouse. Grabbing something old that's been successful and just redoing it, reusing it, adding a few things here and there, and then, getting some more juice out of it. They didn't create this movie. They didn't come up with a character. They just bought the rights to it, and they, rolled with it. And they did a really good job. This was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I can't give you how many thumbs up I have. I only have 2 thumbs, so... But I'd say this is a watch that you need to see. Put it this way. Look what time it is. Very late. I'm already getting yelled at by my neighbors. And I'm doing the movie. So he goes into the room, the partner, and he sees the footsteps, and they play the music with the piano. Cinemassacre did a really good job when they did their Halloween thing. So the partner says, he gets jumped. He was about to say Haddonfield, where nothing exciting happens, and something exciting happened. Michael Myers jumps out. He's slamming him against the wall. The music is playing really good, the fast version of Halloween. Dun, 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 dun. He's slamming him against the wall. He's choking him with his, rope, I guess, that he has somewhere. I don't know where he got that rope from. Here comes the old One Eye. He's warning him, the Hawkins, that he's going to shoot him. He's going to shoot him. And Hawkins says, let him go. Michael Myers is not letting him go. He's using him as a shield, by the way. And Hawkins ends up shooting his partner right in the neck. Yep. Like I said, Hawkins needs some shooting lessons, brother. So Michael Myers drops the partner. Hawkins continues to shoot at Michael. That's another shot. The third shot, fourth shot. That's already about like 12 different shots with a 6-shooter, by the way. And he's missed all times. The only thing he's hit was his partner right in the neck. So second neck injury of the movie. He tries to chase Michael Myers down the stairs, but he decides to come back to check out his partner. Partner tells him, while he's there bleeding out of his neck, Hawkins is on top of him, crying like a little bee. The rest of the police officers show up downstairs. I guess they're ready to, go into the house. The partner asks him, you got him, right? You got him. And Hawkins is just shaking his head like, yeah. The partner, while he's dying, is saying, you got him. You got him, right? I mean, you killed me, but you got him at least, right? It was worth it. And the partner dies. And Hawkins is standing on top of him, crying like a little bee, with his hands covering his face. Oh, I'm sorry, crying, bent over. This is a really good part. What's about to come up. Oh man, you hear the doctor, the guy that was actually chasing him for the longest time, and you think, oh man, they did his voice. So he's yelling. Michael Myers is outside of the house, and he actually shows up. You could see him, Dr. Loomis. It's unbelievable. He's actually here in the movie. They resurrected him from the dead. No, it's computer graphics, but they did such a good job. It literally is him. You could tell it's fake. Like, you could tell visually. He looks too good. That's how you can tell these things are fake. He looks like a young man. So he comes out. Michael Myers is standing outside of the house. It's this big scene where he's standing in front of all the police officers. A big scene from the remake, not from the original. So, this didn't actually happen. In the Blumhouse version of this. So he's standing outside of the house. All the cops are there aiming at him. Dr. Loomis shows up behind him and he's asking Hawkins, "What happened? What happened? Tell me what happened." And then he comes out, stands behind Michael Myers. Michael Myers is standing still, and the cops, the screen pans out and the movie starts. Beautiful intro. Beautiful. This is how you do a movie, boys and girls. This is how you do a recreation of something that's already been created. Oh, they're starting the credits now. They're playing the original Michael Myers theme. You have a bunch of skulls. Skulls. A bunch of pumpkins, carved out pumpkins. They're giving credits to all the people. There's a lot of good actors in this movie. Actors that you haven't seen in a while. I don't know their names too well, but I'm just remind you who they are from where they remind me from where they are. Yeah, I told you, this is ReTried it. We do our best. So this is the introduction. That was an intro, right? That's how you start a movie. You give a little bit of the end of the first remade movie, the Halloween. Then you go back to 1978, the original movie, and you just start, putting a bunch of things that didn't happen but could have, behind the scenes. Hawkins and, his connection to the movie. Questions that were being asked in the first movie. Who is this Hawkins guy? Where did he come from? So the writing is really done well, and I'm sure they're setting it up for a great finale. I'm assuming part 3 is going to have something like... I don't know, Michael Myers somewhere down the line, they go back in time and he rapes some woman or something, and they're giving homages to a bunch of the movies, so maybe they'll go back to the stone cutters. That's what it was? The thorn. And they'll go and maybe he raped some woman, she got impregnated, and guess what? Her son is also as crazy as Michael Myers, whatever. So the credits end. And we start our movie. We are at Mick's Bar. Mick's Bar is going to be very famous for obvious reasons that you'll see later. Now it's Halloween night 2018. So this movie is still, it's in the present, but just in the past. I don't know if that makes any sense. They're continuing from the first movie. Oh my goodness. And the first thing you see is that, oh man, I don't know if you remember that couple from that first movie, the doctor and the nurse, that black woman. Oh my goodness, that was a woman. And not so much her, it was her outfit. She has like the nurse's outfit. Oh, I love that outfit. Those red stockings, the tiny little nurse's skirt, the heels. Oh man, and she's like a hot, woman. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. When I saw her, I was just like, oh, I want to stare at this movie so badly. So yeah, I have 3 Caucasians, making a lot of noise, making a lot of hoopla, this and that, behind the 2 African Americans. The African Americans ask them, hey guys, can you bring it down a tad? My wife and I are trying to watch the talent show. That's the African Americans telling the white people. Yeah, right, reversal. You know how it be really, Hey, yo, man, shut the... Okay, anyways, we're not going to get into stereotypes and racial discrimination. So anyways, the white people that are drunk actually respond positively and say, yeah, sorry, and they quiet down. So the doctor goes to the bartender. He wants to get his drink. There's a make a donation sign that says love. I didn't see the other part. Love is life or something. They show a bunch of handicapped people. Kind of a little bit of an homage to Michael Myers and his handicapped ways. Mentally handicapped anyways. Cure SMA. I'm not sure what SMA is, but that was there. So now some gentleman comes up to the microphone. It's open mic night, by the way. Everybody's drunk and everybody thinks they're funny. Kind of like ReTried it, except I'm not. Well, actually, I am always drunk. Except right now, I'm not really drunk. Like I said, it's really late at night, and I shouldn't be doing this, but I just saw this movie. Thank you again, Peacock. I can't believe that you did this. I thought, HBO Max was the only one doing this with my King Kong. But, all right, so now some guy comes up. This is the guy. He's pretty famous. I don't know him too well. I just know him. He was in that TV series. Oh, boy, I would love to remember these names. He's that young guy. So he's talking about the Haddonfield Boogeyman. And he's talking about 40 years ago, a madman escaped from a hospital. It was the night before Halloween. And 3 teenage girls were walking home that night. They had sightings of a ghost-like figure creeping right through the house. A man in a white mask and a hood. Ku Klux Klan. No, I'm kidding. But it wasn't a man. He was watching. Before the night was over, 3 people would be murdered. And in the house next door, there was a babysitter and a young boy and a young girl, and they were brutally attacked by the stalker, who had a power beyond any mortal man. He's really setting it up well. Oh, it's Tommy Doyle. Okay, Tommy. You remember Tommy, right? The little kid that Laurie saved. It was a little kid and a little girl that, you know, they were in the house when Laurie is trying to fight against Michael Myers. So this is Tommy Doyle, the second version, or probably third version by now. So now he's trying to commemorate the victims of and the survivors of Michael Myers' attack. And now he goes back and he starts pointing the light at Lindsay Wallace, her babysitter. She was the girl that was with him. So she was the girl that was with Michael Myers, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Her babysitter got killed. Marion Chambers, she survived an assault. She was that nurse from part 4, if I'm not mistaken, when he escapes from the mental institution. And there's Lonnie. So they created Lonnie for this reason. Lonnie is the little boy that was cowering like a little bee, that nothing happened. So now he's an adult and he's here. And Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Doyle talks about it's Halloween, it's supposed to be fun, and we have people in masks and we pretend we are who we aren't, but it's not fun because, you know, who's next, and Michael Myers is gonna get all of you. But the boogeyman is coming for me. So he's basically setting it up that Michael Myers, you know, should be respected because the boogeyman is coming for him and he's coming for you. But he's not gonna get us, says Tommy Doyle, not this time, because we will never succumb to fear. This is for you, Laurie. And they raise their drinks and, you know, whatever, wherever you are. And now they show Laurie Strode with her daughter and granddaughter bleeding out in the back of a truck, driving in one direction, and in the other direction you hear fire trucks and ambulances and everything. Mostly fire trucks, no, not really ambulances, driving in the other direction, obviously going to the fire. As you know, part 1 ended where instead of killing Michael Myers by shooting him or chopping off his head, remember that? They put him in a house and they lit the house on fire. The slowest possible way to kill somebody, they actually did it. Yeah, anyways, the firemen go into the house, obviously with water, trying to turn off the fire. And you know what's going to happen next? If you've seen the trailers, which you probably have, obviously he's alive, because you don't kill a psychopathic murderer who's never been killed before, who's been shot millions of times, not millions, but at least a dozen times, by putting him in a slow-burning house. Yes, that'll take care of him. So the firemen are going through their firemen things. One of the firemen is walking over. He sees the gate that Michael Myers was locked in, and he falls through the floor, landing inside of the basement where Michael Myers is. And now you see how Michael Myers survived. Another spoiler, here we go. So the fireman puts on one of his alarms, which I didn't know they had this. It's pretty cool. It's like one of those, help me, I've fallen, I can't get up. Remember those commercials, the old lady? That's basically what it is. So they have the siren going off. You know, he's talking about the structural collapse, the fireman. And you see Michael Myers survived. In the first movie, if you noticed, Laurie Strode had a collection of weapons hidden behind a metal gate. One of those rails that goes up and down. Michael Myers hid inside of there, so he didn't actually get burned or anything. He's smashing the mask of the fireman, and he jams the fireman's axe right through his face, and the first victim is down. Michael Myers twists his head. They did a really nice job, except this doesn't really explain how in part 1, during the credits, you hear Michael Myers breathing. Maybe he was breathing inside of the house, and the cameraman was in there. Anyways, second fireman sticks his hand through the hole in the ground leading to the basement, asking, hey, you know, come, and Michael Myers dresses up like the fireman. No, he doesn't. He just grabs the guy's hand, and you hear him scream, and they pan out to the outside of the house where the two other firemen say, what was that noise? What was that? You know, Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, an homage. This part was really badass, dude. Really badass. So Michael Myers shows, you know, I don't know how he made it through that hole. I guess he climbed out, you know, superpowers, maybe jumped out. He walks really slow motion with an axe in his hand. That's all, you know, a fireman's axe. The pickaxes, the ones that you use to open up the doors, the gates of whatever, when you have like a locked door. I could show an image of that, I'm sure. And he's just standing there, the music is going really slow, and all the firemen, brother, they all grab their weapons. So each one of them grabs an axe. One of them has a freaking chainsaw. I'm telling you, this was so badass. When I saw this, I'm like, what are they doing here? But I love it. I love it. One of the firemen with the water hose starts hosing him down. Yeah, that'll stop him. He's hosing him, and boom, he gets an axe right through the mask. He's dead. Boom, and they start the music, and man, Michael Myers just goes to town, just killing all these firemen with that axe. jamming the back of the axe, the side of the axe. He gets one and like picks him up on the side, drops him to the. Oh man, it was unbelievable. The guy with the chainsaw, he comes at him. Michael Myers turns the chainsaw on him and just jams it right into him. And Michael Myers has destroyed 5 firemen, 7 if you include the 2 that he already killed inside. That was badass. That was badass. This is Michael Myers, brothers. Oh man, they did such a good job. So they go back to Laurie Strode. She's going into the hospital. A quick little homage to the original part 2, where she's injured and she's going into the hospital. But here she's, being escorted by her granddaughter and her daughter. You have a lot of police officers, and then we get a bit of an homage again to the previous movie. You have the actual sergeant, Brackett, the original sergeant from part 1, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, also part 2. But I think more than anything, part 1, the guy that was with Dr. Loomis driving around looking for Michael Myers. He's a security officer now for the hospital. The original guy, like, it's actually him, not a remake version. The actual actor. It was so good. They did such a good job with that. I'm still trying to remember who Tommy Doyle is. I'm sure it'll come to me. You've seen it on the screen. If I did this correctly, you saw his name already. He's from that movie. Laurie's daughter is, I guess, washing her hands, and she sees her wedding ring. She's remembering that her husband died. Oh man, I can't believe they killed Artie. Artie, the strongest man in the world. Well, he's dead. So she's remembering her dead husband and crying, also with her hands covering her face. They do that a lot in this movie. I don't know. I guess it's a way of showing that they're really, really sad about what happened. It's a sad moment. The music plays slow. Laurie's getting open stomach surgery. They actually show it. Very nice. The stomach being open. Good special effects. And I don't mean special effects like all CG. It's a lot of practical effects here. They did a really nice job. And I've always said it, and I know a lot of you out there that watch movies say the same thing. You have to have practical effects. You have to have these, rubber mannequins. You have to have these pieces of body parts. You need it, man. Not everything can be CG. Because after a while, it just becomes so boring, mundane. You're saving money, but you're also losing the beauty of a movie. Plus, it gives people things to do, man. Those practical effects, and I go back to The Thing and the original version of the recreated Thing with practical effects and not CG. My goodness, that would have been a great movie. So now the daughter comes out to console her granddaughter. They're sitting on the steps, crying. Laurie's gonna be okay. Well, mom's gonna be okay, I guess, or grandma, I guess. And granddaughter's crying. It's like, what about dad? He's dead. And they're like, don't worry, he'll always be with us. Soon we'll see him. Yeah, she doesn't know how right she is. So now they go to a house, cemetery house, I guess, mortuary. There's a hearse parked outside. You have a stereotypical African-American elderly woman, which, by the way, does a really good job with those flying drones, the little mini toy drones. I'm telling you, I've tried flying those drones. Those things are a pain in the... I slam into walls. I tried doing it outside, and the wind just took it to the roof of the house. Really bad. This lady, she's jamming it, man. I'm telling you, she has it doing flips in the air. There's an elderly man. I guess it's like an old people house, funeral home. I'm not sure. It seems like a funeral home, and just an old man trying to seduce the old woman. And the little the little drone flies into a room, a closet, and it falls down to the ground. So now the old man picks it up, and he's like, don't worry, I could fly it. Somebody grabs it, just like, I guess, destroys it and throws it into a couch. And the gentleman says, what was that? The woman says, is somebody in there? I'm trying to do my stereotypical voice. The music stops. It gets very ominous, yeah. Ooh, spooky. Ooh. The woman grabs the wine bottle, and she grabs her broken drone. The man walks towards the closet very slowly, trying to see if someone is actually in there. I'm going to try to do their voices as best as I can. He yells out, hey!
Hey!
Still quiet. No response. He creeps over. The camera shows from the inside of the closet somebody is staring out at both of them. The man tries to come in. The woman is standing behind with the wine bottle ready to knock somebody out. But she's walking backwards. She's actually leaving instead of backing him up. There's blood on one of the walls, and you see Michael Myers' reflection in a mirror. The man turns on the light. Michael Myers breaks that mirror and the light. Music starts playing, and guy says, there's a big fella in our bathroom. There's a monster. The woman says, what does he want? And he says, who gives a bleep? Call the cops, which was really funny. Because it's true. I mean, there's a man in our closet, a big monster, and the woman says, what does he want? Man, I don't care what he wants. Call the police. So he grabs the man through the window. He slams him through the window and jams his neck through the window. And another neck injury, number 3. I'm going to lose count, but we'll keep track of it with the dings. So now the woman tries to escape. The man is pretty much dead. He's been stabbed through the neck. A woman is trying to exit her house. She has like 5 different locks, so she can't get them all. She starts crying. She's at the door. She grabs a knife. The music is playing very slowly. This is brand new music, by the way. Kind of like a remix of the original. Michael Myers is inside of the house. He completely destroys the drone by stepping on it. You know, he has those magic feet. He grabs, unbelievable, a light bulb, one of those long tube light bulbs, fluorescent lights. Not fluorescent, but you know what I mean. Those long tube lights. He cuts it in half, smashes it, and then jams it through her neck. Neck injury number 4. There's a lot of neck injuries. I guess that's one of the injuries that these creators could do really well. So he jams it through her neck, and she's dead, supposedly. Well, she's dying very, very slowly. Takes it out of her neck. She turns around. He looks at her. This is when you see Michael Myers' psychology. This is when you see how sick and demented this guy really is. And unfortunately, whatever. He drops it down, the bulb. It completely smashes into pieces. Music is playing slowly. Old man is actually still alive. It's a neck injury. So I guess the beauty of a neck injury is that you know you're going to die. You just die really slowly. So as the woman is laying on the side, dying, she's staring at and hearing Michael Myers basically killing the other man. You hear him, being slammed around, being hit. The camera is panning over from over in front of her, facing her, to behind, over her shoulder. And now it shows what she's seeing. And Michael Myers is stabbing the man who has been laid over a table. And he stabs him once. Ching. And Michael Myers stabs him twice. Ching. I actually see 3 knives in his back. So he might have been stabbed 3 times already. So this is the 4th stab. He's just basically going knife through knife. Stabs him a 4th time. I guess he's looking for the right knife, the one that gives the right crunchy sound. Meanwhile, the other woman that was with this older gentleman is staring at him, and he's knife through knife through knife until he finally finds the knife that's really good. Now he walks, he pans over, and they start clapping. They're not clapping in the movie. They did a good job of that. They were clapping as to, Michael Myers finally finds his knife, but in reality, they were clapping because they're going to a ventriloquist act back at open mic night at that bar that we said earlier. I'm not sure what the bar's name was. I should really write notes for this stuff, but again, I've never done this before. Hopefully, I can get better at it. That's right, we're going to spoil every movie that we can as long as we get views. Just click on our damn channel. We need propaganda. So, the doctor, with that beautiful woman, my goodness, I can't get over how hot that woman is. That nurse, there she is. I would love to know her name. I'll just call her Legs. They come up and they apologize to Tommy Doyle, and hey, we're sorry. We didn't know that what you had gone through. We had told you to shut up because you were just being drunk and disturbing and all that. But it wasn't that. So this is a good part. Tommy Doyle. What's his name again? Lonnie. Lonnie gets a phone call. Lonnie picks up the phone, and guess what? Lonnie is the father of the transvestite, the little boy from the first movie that put the phone inside of the cheese, the granddaughter's boyfriend. He's actually the dude's father, so that was a pretty cool touch. I like that. I like when you add things that are there but not really that important, like parents and whatnot. They go back to the original scene. He explains to him what happened. The transvestite says the police officer Hawkins, he's been found. He's being taken care of. In the background, you see that he's going into an ambulance. Hawkins. The little boy tells the dad he needs to be picked up. Bartender tells him 50 years ago we started the business. This is a baseball bat that's very famous. Old Huckleberry, his grandfather, the bartender's grandfather, used to kill a bear. And, they're all celebrating. Now Lonnie's Cameron. Cameron is his name. I won't call him that because I won't remember. Lonnie is going to go pick up his son Cameron, who, as you know, is the transvestite. They go to the original police car from part 1. The ones that found the doctor and Hawkins from really far away, that one of them gets a light bulb smashed through his skull, and he's like his own Halloween lantern. I think I could show that. And they show the doctor who got not the doctor actually. Wow, he killed everybody. They show all the firemen. Wait, I don't know how they did that because that cop cannot be there. Oh no. They jumped from one scene to another. So they found those 2 cops in the previous scene. Now they're outside of the house that was burning. Wait, something's wrong there. That shouldn't be. Unless they killed those 2 cops in front of the house. Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. I gotta watch the first one. But anyways, for some reason, the 2 cops that were killed outside of the original Lori house that got burned were found, and now they found all the firemen, and they give an announcement on the news. Breaking news! Community in shock over multiple murders. Bodies were discovered in 3 homes along the residential Haddonfield High Alert. Officials are investigating. An hour ago, Haddonfield authorities possibly identified the house. That's Mr. Dewbottom's house. So 2 patients that escaped. This is important because they show the patients there that escaped along with Michael Myers. They even show one of them. Everybody in the bar sees who it is, including Tommy Doyle. They show the old police bus. Well, yeah, the transport bus that crashed in the first one. And they're talking about it's unbelievable because they've had problems in the past. They're showing all the previous victims of the slayings that happened 40 years ago. They show that little boy child survives attack. It's the little Julian, the babysat boy that was pretty funny in the first movie. Doesn't come out in this movie. Talking about the babysitter that got killed. He was pretty funny in the first movie. Oh, there's a boogeyman in the closet. And he's like, I'm getting out of here. Are you crazy? Anyways, so now they're all saying, it's Michael Myers. They're going through a bunch of the residents. Oh my goodness. They show the doctor and that beautiful nurse. Oh my goodness. I think if I had one wish in my life, I would love every woman. Oh man, that's just such a great outfit. Nurse's outfit. Oh, and they have the perfect scene right here. Look at that. Oh man, I would love to show you what I see. I'm getting way too excited. But anyways, she goes inside of her car. The doctor goes back to get his stethoscope. She's turning on her car very slowly. She looks to the back. And there's a shadow. Oh, it's a monster back there. So she jumps out of the car screaming. Oh my goodness, what an ass. Wow. So she tells the doctor, her husband, that Michael Myers is in the back seat. You should go get him. And the doctor's like, hell no, I ain't going there. That's the same thing I would say, man. That's Michael Myers. I'm not going in there. So he's in the back of the car. Tommy Doyle turns. He looks at old Huckleberry, the bat, and he thinks it's time to go swinging. Yeah, he's swinging for the fences. And the bartender says, hey, it's in the parking lot. He puts a donation in that Save Lives Now. Tommy Doyle says, evil dies tonight. He comes out with a bat. A bunch of the bar resident bar Patreons come out with him. A little bit of a mob mentality. Oh my goodness, that nurse. Look at those legs. Oh, if you watch this movie, you'll know what I mean. I'm sorry, that's just hot right there. Wow, that is an outfit. That's what Halloween's all about. Just dressing like a damn whore. So very slow music. Tommy Doyle has the bat. He's walking towards Michael Myers, and Michael Myers knows how to drive a car. So he turns on the vehicle. Tommy Doyle turns. He sees the mob. He says, I got this, in a very whimpering, sad voice. The lights turn on in the car, and you think he's going to drive over. They start playing some opera music inside. The rest of the patrons come out of the bar to see what's going on. It's like opera music playing. Michael Myers is about to run over Tommy Doyle. I guess so. I don't know. Anticipation. You're looking at the camera from inside of the vehicle. He's staring at Tommy Doyle, who's got the bat. He changes the music to rock music. Tommy slams the car with a bat a couple of times. The car drives off, and Michael Myers is away. He drives on the wrong side of the road, almost crashes into a truck from part 3, I believe, if not, or part 4, one of the old mobs. And Michael Myers crashes the car somewhere very far away. They go to the scene where he crashed. Vehicle's completely smashed. Rock music is playing very loud. The rest of the mob starts walking towards the vehicle to see, what they could find. They're getting closer to the vehicle, and Tommy Doyle goes to the driver's side door. He opens the door, and there's no one inside. Doctor yells out, "Hey man, what did they do to my car?" Yeah. Tommy Doyle says he's around here. They pan out to the outside camera looking at the mob, and it's a weird figure. Then the camera shows who it is, and it's the bald-headed guy with the long hair that they showed originally in the bar as one of the 2 individuals that escaped with Michael Myers. If I'm not mistaken, I think one of the individuals they showed on the camera was Michael Myers, but I'm not too sure. But I know one of the other guys that they showed was this bald-headed guy with the long hair. He'll be important for the remainder of the movie. So, yeah, he runs away. The mom says, evil dies tonight, and we're going to kill him. Now, they pan to some gentleman singing some, like, old-school spooky music. By the way, we have that Halloween music. We tried uploading it, but it got copywritten. This is like the 1950s. It's like spooky Halloween music. It's pretty good, like jazzy and stuff. He's smoking a J. He's smoking a marijuana cigarette. Yes, I don't know what that is. Now you get this guy, really famous guy from Mad TV. I don't know what his name is. He's the guy with the light eyes, blue eyes. He looks pretty old now, man, but it's still him. I was happy to see him because I haven't seen that guy. I think it's Donald. I think it's his name. Something Donald. You'll see it on the screen. I'm sure I'm showing it right now. He's talking to Big John. Big John is still smoking a cigarette, dancing, all smooth, jazz and whatnot. The Mad TV guy comes in, tells him, I think he's Little John. I think it's Big John and Little John. So he tells him, hey, turn that down. Let's go eat. Big John says, it's Halloween, man. Let's listen to spooky records. Let's get high and dance. Little John says, that sounds like a good idea. So they get a doorbell rings, and it's a kid screaming and yelling, oh, help, help, oh, please. Me and my sister were trying to get through Halloween. We ate one of your apples, and she got a razor blade through her throat, and now she's down on the ground. And they show Dana. She's on the ground. They play the spooky music. She swallowed a razor blade. They Big John and Little John go over to her body, to help her. They show a razor blade next to the barf, and inside of the house the door slams. So Little John says, did someone just go into our house? And they're both staring, and the little girl says, oh my G, and boom, the girl on the ground, which I don't know was a girl, wakes up and gets up. And it was a joke. It was a trick. Ha ha ha. It was 3 kids. It was basically a joke to get the 2 of them to go outside of the house so that the third gentleman, which by the way, he's wearing a mask. This is the first homage to the Shamrock mask of part 3. Yeah. Yes, they have an homage to part 3, which they try not to connect themselves with, but they did. It's the skeleton mask. It's a little boy, Danny, I believe is his name. Anyways, he has the mask for the skeleton version. I'm sure I'm showing it on the screen. Most of the stuff I should be showing. So now Little John and Big John are explaining this is Michael Myers' house. You kids shouldn't do that. Do you know what happens to individuals that trespass into Michael Myers' house without an invitation? On a spooky voice, he was upstairs. He killed his sister by, jamming a knife through her breasts. Oh, that is a girl. My goodness, that is a very ugly girl. The girl that, supposedly had a razor blade through her throat. My goodness, that is a very ugly girl. Like with the hairstyle and everything. If it wasn't for her breast, I couldn't tell that was a girl. It just looks like a really fat kid. An overweight gentleman. My goodness. Oh, this world and the unisex. The future is so scary, man. The future is so scary. There might actually be a day where there's no sex. Anyway, so the kids, run off. They're getting scared off by Little John and Big John, which have already introduced the fact that they're both living in Michael Myers' house. Gee, I wonder where Mike is going to go next. He only goes to 2 places. He only goes to his house or to the hospital. I mean, those are the 2 areas he knows. I guess he doesn't have a GPS. Probably has a TomTom. You guys remember TomTom? Yeah, before GPS and all that. On your phone anyways. And Waze, that's another one. Yeah, his TomTom only goes in one direction. From the hospital to his house, his house to the hospital. So they go back to the hospital. Laurie is recovering. They show Hawkins being wheeled in. He has some lacerations, the nurse says, but he's going to recover. He'll be fine. The granddaughter sees him. Now she stares back at the morgue, I guess. There's a bunch of dead bodies. Toe tagged, if you know what I mean. The music is playing very ominous. She's looking. She sees one toe tag for C. Michaels, MD, Blunt Force Police Department. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe I could screenshot it. I can't get copyrighted for this stuff. I hope I can't. So Alice is the granddaughter's name. Again, I can't remember these names because these characters aren't important. I'm assuming they're all going to be dead by the end of part 3 because they're just being created to add some extra fuel. The granddaughter might survive as a continuation, like the story goes, but that's only if my theory is accurate. Right now, it's just her talking to the police officer, one of them, who's asking her what happened, what's going on. Granddaughter is explaining, I was told that Boogeyman wasn't real. Tonight I found out he is real. You go back to the sheriff, the one from the first movie, with the actually wears like a cowboy hat, pretty cool. He's interviewing the daughter, Lori's daughter, and the daughter's explaining that he jumped into our house, he broke in, he murdered my husband. And now the cop is asking, how did he know how to find your grandmother? And the granddaughter says it was the doctor, Michael's doctor, the one from the first movie. He's the one that took Michael Myers there. And he's the one that brought Lori and Michael together, which he did. He had an obsession, says the granddaughter. Not Michael's. It wasn't Michael's. It was the doctor's. Now it goes back to the daughter. She says, we got him. We shot him in the face. We burned him alive. She's happy. She's like, yeah, we killed him. He's dead. And now the sheriff says, sorry, Karen. No one's told you. And she says, told me what? Told me what? Sorry, I'll do the voices. Sheriff says in her, Michael Myers is alive. And the granddaughter screams, what? Basically, they're both being told right now that Michael Myers is still alive. Transvestite comes in, still wearing his skirt. I can't help it. So Transvestite talks to granddaughter. Me, Tommy Doyle, and a bunch of other drunken, crazy people are going to get together. We're going to kill Michael Myers. Again, a quick homage to part 2, or was it part 4 or part 3? The mob rule. They're all getting together to kill. The daughter comes in to talk to her. Lori's daughter talk to Lori's granddaughter. It's easier just to say it that way. She comes in and tells the granddaughter, no, you need to stay by your grandma's side until she recovers and she's okay. Granddaughter says, no, we're gonna hunt him down. And the daughter says, no, he's stalking her. He's gonna come here to the hospital. She thinks this is part 2. So she thinks he's going to come to the hospital because, like he did in the original movie where he finds her in the hospital. So she thinks he's coming to the hospital. We should wait for him here. Granddaughter and Transvestite say, no, we're going to go with Tommy Doyle and the mob, and we're going to go find him. And this ends tonight. Granddaughter says, I'm going to do this for our dad, for my dad anyways. This ends tonight. We're not going to be traumatized by him anymore. Daughter says, we set a trap. He lived through it. We shot him, we burned him, and he's still alive. Think about it. You think you're going to find him? The police are looking for him. Sit in that room and wait for your grandmother to recover. And she says, now. Granddaughter does one of those faces. Granddaughter, she cries, one tear. It's really good. These actors that know how to cry on demand. And she actually goes in. She listens. So now she's sitting by Lori's side with a chain that I guess Lori gave her in the first movie with a little cross. Music is playing very sadly. Piano music. Da-da-da, da-da-da. She's remembering the first movie when they locked him in the basement. When the granddaughter grabbed a knife and cut Michael Myers' hand. When they threw the flare, they said goodbye, Michael Myers. Or well, they didn't say Myers. They just said goodbye, Michael, instead of shooting him or chopping him up. I don't know. Maybe blow up the house. There's so many ways you could do it. But obviously you wouldn't have part 2 or part 3. Granddaughter grabs Lori by the hand. Basically, it's like a sad moment where you see that the granddaughter is gonna stay with with Lori. Now she sees the knife that Lori, I guess, saved from the first movie, and she wraps it. The granddaughter wraps it up in a. I guess the granddaughter had that knife. She wraps it up. She says, "This is for you, Grandma. You're gonna need it." I'm sure that's what she said. Remember, I'm hearing the movie through my headphones, but I'm also talking, and when I talk, I can't hear. It's kind of a weird defect that I have as a human being. I'm sure everyone else does, but maybe I'm wrong. Anywho, it pans out of that slow, filler movie portion. You don't really need it, but it adds to the length of the movie. Goes to the outside of the hospital. Tommy Doyle is talking to Lonnie, and they're like, I just heard from the nurse's hospital. I heard Michael's still alive. They're looking for him. Tommy Doyle tells Doyle, we all gotta get together. We have to stop him. I don't know why, but Lonnie opens up his tackle box for fishing, sorry. And it's got a bunch of guns. Tommy Doyle says, do you have permits for this? Lonnie says some of them. That's pretty good. Doyle transvestite comes out to give his dad a hug. He's obviously Lonnie's son or daughter. I'm not sure. Might be a mixed sex. Who knows? Anyways, car shows up and you see all the other victims that survived from the bar, including the doctor and the nurse show up, and they're actually reverse roles, just like in the first movie. The doctor is actually real life nurse in the movie, and the nurse, hot legs, my goodness, she's actually a doctor. So the granddaughter says, "Tonight we hunt him down." And now Tommy Doyle is driving around. He goes to a local gas station and says, "Excuse me, I need some good people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. Everybody else needs to go home." That's it. Just picking up mobs. So now they're driving around the neighborhood. The granddaughter is yelling out, "Go inside your house. It's not safe." Tommy Doyle is talking to another group of people. Says they got him an hour ago, but he escaped. There's strength in numbers. You cover this area. I cover this area. Let me know. This man is a threat. We need to stop him tonight. So inside of the SUV, you have the doctor, the nurse, African Americans, and then the old nurse from the first movie who's explaining that this is Dr. Loomis. Nobody listened to him when he warned them 40 years ago. Everybody, should have listened. Tommy Doyle was telling the rest of the mob, "Hey, keep your eyes open. You got to go here. You got to go there. We're going to find this guy. He has old Huckleberry, the baseball bat, in his car, and he's driving." Inside of the SUV, again, we have the new doctor, new nurse, old nurse, and babysat woman. They see the two girls swinging on a set, swinging in a park. These are the two little girls that went into Big John and Little John's house, the two sisters. Missing is the boy that was with him that actually broke into the house and stole the candy. The doctor is telling his wife he's never fired a gun. The nurse, oh my goodness, those legs. Wow, doesn't matter how many times I see her. She's hot, man. She says, "That's a big gun. You better let me handle that." He's a nurse, she's a doctor, so it's obvious, So a babysat woman goes to the two girls. Oh my goodness, one of those girls. I can't believe that's a girl. So they say, "You better go inside." The two girls say, "Oh, we're really scared. This is Halloween. We're taking candy." They're waiting for their friend. And one of the girls says, "There's a creepy man in a white mask who wants to play hide and seek with us. And he's hiding behind the trees. He pops out every once in a while. But we don't know. Oh, look, there he is." And they point to him. And guess what? It's Michael Myers. Yeah, standing behind the SUV with the old nurse, the new nurse, and the doctor with his knife. And he's got Dennis's mask. Then I know because the kids say it. "Is that Dennis's mask?" Yeah, it is, covered in blood. Babysat woman tells him, "Run, before he kills us all." And the two girls finally run away. They finally figure out, wow, we messed up. So babysat woman turns around. The old nurse sees Michael Myers in the rearview mirror. Music starts to play. Michael Myers climbs on top of the SUV. Old nurse has a gun pointed at the roof. Michael Myers slams the bloody mask on top of the front windshield. Old nurse shoots it with a gun. And the music is playing really good. Oh, you see two masks on the ground. The two sisters were wearing the other two Shamrock masks. So all three of these kids were wearing the original Shamrock masks. The skeleton nurse shoots through the window. Old nurse shoots through the window where Michael Myers is at. We'll talk about those masks in a bit. So right now Michael Myers is on top. Babysat woman has one of the bags for candy. It's basically just a pillowcase, and she's filling it with bricks. While Michael Myers is still climbing on the roof, old nurse is shooting out the window. She's already taken 3 shots. Old nurse gets grabbed by the hair. Michael Myers pulls her. She takes off another shot. New nurse, my goodness, best scene in the entire movie. You look right up her skirt. She's wearing shorts though, that's too bad. Really nice fishnets. She jumps out of the car and then she disappears for a while. I don't know what she did, to be honest with you. She jumps out of the car and she's not there anymore because now Michael Myers jumps down from the roof in front of the window where she jumped out. Old nurse points the gun at him and says, "Hey Michael, this is for Dr. Loomis," and begins to shoot nothing. There's no more bullets. Yeah, that gun only had 4 shots. Way to be ready for this. So Michael Myers creeps into the driver's side car and just starts stabbing her. Meanwhile, male nurse, doctor, whatever, is I don't know why, but he gets the stethoscope and he tries to choke Michael Myers out. Michael just looks at him, one of those faces saying, "Come on, man, really?" So he begins to jam. Well, actually, he just jams his knife right through his eyeball. And nurse is dead, dressed like a doctor. and he has a knife jammed through his head. Where's the other nurse? Where's Hot Legs? I'm not sure. This is really weird. So from really far away, you hear bullets, and Michael turns very slowly, like, okay, who's next? And I mean, really far away. She must have been like 5 car lengths away. The doctor starts shooting at him, missing every shot. And then she gets close to the driver's side. And when she's about to take another shot, Michael kicks the door out, and the door strikes the woman in the hand, forcing her hand to turn to herself, and she shoots herself in the neck. Neck injury number whatever. I don't even know anymore. Another neck injury. Michael stares over her head. Here comes babysat nurse, just whacking at him with the pillowcase filled with bricks. Hits him twice. Michael grabs her by the neck, starts choking her, slamming her against the SUV. She kind of pulls his mask off, and boom, now you find out Michael Myers' weakness. If you mess with his mask, he lets you go. So he let her go. She starts running away. He adjusts his mask. Obviously, he can't be seen without a mask. Otherwise, the illusion is killed. If we see that it's that old man from that movie, Unbreathable. What is it? Can't Breathe? Don't Breathe? It looks like him. I'm not sure. Anyways, and now she starts running away. So this is a quick homage to one of the movies. I believe it's part 5, if I'm not mistaken. Might be part 6, where a girl is, one of the nurses. Well, she was dressed like a nurse, actually. Is running away from Michael through the woods. And she's running extremely fast, and obviously he's just walking and pacing like a serial killer does. Pacing right after her. She's running away. She gets to a canal, kind of like a creek. He's still walking very slowly. And since he walks so slow and she runs so fast, he actually loses track of her. And she's hiding. She's bent like by the edge of the creek, kind of close to the water. Right underneath him, he's panning over her and over the creek. He's looking around. He doesn't see her. He doesn't use his spider senses, obviously. She's actually hiding. A tree is covering her. So she's hiding at the bottom of a tree. Maybe I could show an image of that. I'm not sure. She's very quiet. She's not even breathing. So she's pretty smart. Remember what I said? Don't breathe. Yeah. Anyways, Michael is panning to the left, to the right. He can't find her. He's obviously frustrated. He's yelling and screaming and stopping. No. It's just, breathing very slowly. His Darth Vader-ness or whatever. Breathing through the mask. The girl's still being very quiet. She's trying not to make any noise. Michael just looks and looks and looks, and eventually just gives up and walks away. He crosses the bridge, which is over the canal, creek, reef. I'm not sure. Yeah, canal. It might be walks over the bridge, and she's still hiding with a tree, just very, very scared. And that's it. The scene ends. So he actually leaves her alone. She survives. They go back to the hospital, and you see Laurie's daughter. Laurie has woken up. Laurie says she's fine. Laurie's daughter says you're not fine. You had a knife through your effing stomach. Says, where's granddaughter? And daughter says she's supposed to be here. Laurie says, I'm so geeked out on paid meds. I don't know what's going on. I guess they've just realized that the granddaughter's not there. Arrow can't win. I love you. I love dad. I don't know what the note said. He will die, maybe. I'm not sure. I could rewind it, but I'm not going to do that. We're watching it the ReTried way, baby. You want to see it? Get Peacock. Hey, I'm not kidding, man. It's pretty cheap, and you can watch movies like this. I was very surprised, too. I didn't even know it was going to be worth it. I don't even own Peacock. I just got the subscription to see this movie. And to do this, hopefully I get the views that I need. Just watch my channel, please. So now Laurie is explaining, what's going on. I just woke up. I'm so happy we killed him. We got him. He's dead. Laurie, obviously, she had been stabbed, and she doesn't know that Michael's still alive. The daughter does, but she's not telling her. Right now, Frank gets rolled in. Hawkins. Frank is his first name, I guess. The officer that was out of surgery. So now he's sitting next to Laurie. Laurie says, Frank! And they jump to another scene. You have Lonnie with his son, transvestite, driving with Laurie's granddaughter. And granddaughter says to Lonnie if he knew her father. And he says, yeah, I knew him. We used to get high together. They tell a quick little story, like a joke, about the dad taking off his pants and jumping in. Granddaughter is crying. Obviously, she's remembering her dead father. I mean, it is what it is. Transvestite interrupts him. Dad, you see him? It's Tommy. So Tommy finds Lindsay's car. Lindsay is the babysat woman. And they stop. Tommy says, that's the car. It's covered in blood. There's no bodies. Michael, he was here. I need you guys. So now transvestite, granddaughter, and Lonnie step out of the vehicle along with Tommy with their flashlights and their guns and old Huckleberry Finn's bat. Anyways, and they're walking around. I don't know, man. I mean, seriously, you're going to go up against Michael Myers and use a baseball bat? Anyways, they start walking towards the swings. You see 3 bodies from a really far distance. 1 is hanging. 2 are spinning on a carousel, I guess. A little kid carousel. Yeah, you know what I mean. And they get close. They get closer. Lonnie says to Tommy, OS, oh bleep. And you see wearing one of the Shamrock masks, the skeleton, the beautiful African-American nurse. Oh my goodness, those legs. Wearing second Shamrock mask, the pumpkin, her husband, which is the nurse, dressed like a doctor. Oh, I heard. Oh my goodness, her stockings are all ripped up. She looks hot, man. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm a leg guy. And the music is playing. They're very slow Michael Myers music. You know, really nice Halloween. Dun 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 dun. Transvestite looks towards the swings, and they find another body of the old nurse, and she's wearing the witch's mask. So those are the 3 Shamrock masks. The 3 original masks that you see at the intro of that movie, and the 3 main masks that you see throughout the whole movie. The green witch's mask, the skeleton mask, and the pumpkin head mask. Really nice homage to that movie. And it also, you know, makes sense because you're basically all Halloween movies are connected. Now they look towards the distance and they see babysat woman, and she actually survived. So Michael gave up. That was pretty weird. She'll probably die in part 3. So she's yelling and screaming, I saw everything. He's still out there. He's still out there, Tommy, says the nurse. Look at me. The babysat woman. Lonnie says, you'll be okay. Everything's fine. And she's still just yelling and screaming. He's still out there, crying. He's still out there. They go back to the hospital where they show Laurie talking to Frank, Mr. Hawkins, the other police officer. And Laurie is going to talk to Hawkins now. Very slow. It's kind of boring in the movie, but you need it because you can't have too much action. This is how you get an hour and something out of a movie. I'm not sure how long this movie is, actually, while they're talking. Laurie is explaining to him. Oh, there's like about 30 minutes left. Oh, the movie's not that long. Hour 50. So Laurie is explaining that, you know, she should have said something to him back then when they were young. She's trying to make believe like he actually existed in the original movie. She's saying, thank you for helping me. I should have told you. You know, I always liked you, says Laurie to Hawkins, who wakes up. He says, you so crazy. And she says, F you, laughing. I guess they're having some sort of relationship type of thing. The music is playing, a little piano music. Hi, she says. He responds, hi. Hey, what's going on? I'm trying to see what he says. I guess it's you. I remember, she says. He held her hand. That was it. He was hoping for more. I guess he liked her back in part 1 or part 2. I'm not sure. He says something really funny. He says, you were sweet for Ben Tramer. If you remember, Laurie Strode had this thing with Ben Tramer in the first movie. Ben Tramer, if you remember from part 2, is the guy. I would love to be able to show that scene. I think I could. He dresses up like Michael Myers, and he gets, for some reason or another, gets a police car to slam him in between the police car and a van, and he blows up. So that's Ben Tramer. We all remember old Benny. So now Laurie gives Hawkins the good news. We got him. We killed him. We burned him in the house. Hawkins says, we got him. Oh, this is great. I'm so happy. An actual nurse walks into the hospital room and says, between a scale of 1 to 10, how much is your pain? He says 11. Haha, very funny. He's really in a lot of pain. Laurie tells the nurse, will you do me a favor? Make it a double. So, you know, give him an extra shot of his injection to really get him going. Now they go back, and that's pretty much done with that. They go back to the scene where babysat woman is with Tommy Doyle and granddaughter. And they're remembering when they were all kids. I guess she was a part of the group when they were all kids. And they used to like dare people to go into the old residence for Michael Myers, Tommy Doyle and Lonnie and all that stuff. So now they go back to the original guy, Brackett. The sheriff is talking to Mr. Brackett, who's the head of security at the hospital, and telling him, oh, I should have killed him. This is all my fault. I should have put a bullet in his head 40 years ago. None of this would have happened. He's probably right, but he didn't. He had his daughter mutilated by this guy, and now they're just talking. It's basically just getting everybody up to date. So one of the police officers comes in to show and say, hey, we got support from other cities and other towns, but we can't handle this. It's Halloween night and it's very difficult. A woman shows up, and she's the mother of this kid who died in part 1, the one that got hung on the gate. The lights turning on and off, dark and light, dark and light. And she's asking for her son. Tommy Doyle finally meets with Tommy Doyle meets with this is Laurie's sorry. These actors, there's a lot of them. Laurie's daughter. What's going on? Where's my granddaughter? Or where's Laurie's granddaughter? My daughter. And Tommy says she's okay. She's with the mob. With transvestite and with Lonnie. So now Tommy grabs a group of the people, all the people that are in the hospital, and he starts yelling and screaming, Michael Myers is going to die. Michael Myers will be executed tonight. This is not going to be a repeat of what happened 40 years ago. We need all of you. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight, says the mob. And the sheriff says, hey, everybody calm down. And Tommy says, no, sheriff. We've watched your department fail tonight. This is Haddonfield, says Tommy. This is our town. And the old cop Brackett says, he killed my daughter 40 years ago, desecrated her body. Evil dies tonight. The sheriff says, the law. I am the law, not you. And the mob starts getting unholy. They start getting crazy. They go back to Laurie. Laurie is yelling. Tommy comes in. Actually, Tommy is yelling. He comes into the room. He tells Laurie, here's the good news. He killed Marion. He's on the loose. The daughter says, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't know how to tell you. I just want you to be okay. Tommy Doyle says, 40 years ago, Laurie, you protected me. Tonight, I'm going to protect you. So Tommy Doyle's going to protect Laurie. Reverse role. So now Laurie tells the nurse to get out, to leave. She says, we had him. How did we escape? How did he escape? Daughter says, I don't know. Doyle says, what do? We don't have the police support. And Laurie says, she actually instigates him. She's like, we fight him. Go, Tommy, go find him. So he leaves the room to kill Michael Myers. He's being baited into it. I mean, what else can you do? Now the daughter starts trying to talk Laurie down. You can't go kill him. He killed my husband, Ray. Well, poor guy. His name was Ray. There are authorities who are trained to deal with this. There's a system. And Laurie says, the system failed. Now get the F out of my way. I guess Laurie is going to go kill Michael Myers, even though she just got out of surgery 5 minutes ago. Now she goes to the injection that they were going to give Hawkins. Hawkins is knocked out, I guess. He's kind of quiet. He's probably already sleeping. Daughter says, do you know what that is? And Laurie says, it makes the pain go away, and she jams it into her thigh. So I guess she's, tranquilizing her pain that she's feeling. And she says, let him come to me. Let him take my head as I take his. Piano music plays. He can die as I die too, says Laurie. Daughter says, no. Laurie says, you and Allison, my granddaughter, should not have to keep running. Hawkins opens his eyes, seeing what's going on and listening. This is like a very, special moment where Laurie is saying that the only way Michael will die is if she dies. They both have to die together. They're connected. Daughter says, stop. I am not going to let anything happen to you. And that's it. So she's trying to go after her. Daughter's trying to stop her. That's pretty much the scene. Now it jumps to another scene. They show this is an old movie. I'm not sure. I could probably do some research on it. Maybe I could show what it is. I know I could show a clip of it because there's no copyright for that. But it's like an old school movie. They show Big John, who's still smoking his marijuana cigarette, and he has a big batch of honey. And he's talking about bees. He's talking about, how they work and how bees connect with each other. They go back to the movie that they're seeing. Seymour Moskowitz, Jewish. It's like two people that are trying to get married. They're just watching an old movie. I'm sure it's an homage to John Carpenter some way. Big John says, that his mother used to have bees before she died. Little John puts his hand over Big John's shoulder and says, I'm sorry. And they hear a banging at the back door. Little John says, Halloween is over, kids. And they're still banging. Little John turns to Big John, and he says, "I'll handle this," in a very strong voice. No, not really. Big John turns off the TV, leans back, still smoking his marijuana cigarette. Little John opens the back porch door, turns on the light. "Knock it off," says Little John. Or, "Knock it off." And now there's a banging in the front door. To which Big John says, "Well, now they're at the front door," letting out a big a big puff of smoke. That's a nice marijuana cigarette. I would assume. I'm not sure. I've never. Anyways, so he says he's gonna scare the ass out of these kids. Little John closes the back door. Make sure to close the back door. Doesn't turn off the porch light. That'll be important in a minute. Big John grabs a golf club. He walks to the front door. He yells out, "Don't you know whose house this was?" Little John says, "Honey, don't do anything stupid. We're going to get sued." That was good. Big John says, "I bet those B words are in the bushes." And he says, "Little John, did you lock the back door?" Little John, in a very nervous pause, says, "I'll check." Little John walks towards the back door. Big John points to a pitchfork and says, "Next time I'm going to use that." That'll be important towards the end of the movie. Yeah, spoil. Oh, and now Little John sees that the back door not only has been opened, but there's a handprint of blood on the side of the of the door. So, yeah, obviously there's somebody in the house. Big John closes big door. Little John starts yelling out, "Big John! Big John!" Big John shows up. She says, "Less Little John." "Yes, Little John." Little John says, "Someone's in our house, and it's not a child." Big John throws down the golf club and starts taking off his rings, says, "F that," takes off his bracelet, takes off his watch. I guess he's going to go to town. And I'm thinking, man, he's going to grab a machine gun. You know, he takes off his robe, shows off his nice pecs, wearing a little tank top, boxers. I don't know why I'm giving you details. And proceeds to grab a fruit knife. A fruit knife. A fruit knife, yes, one of those tiny little knives that you use to peel fruits. And Little John grabs a medium-sized knife, and they both say, "I have this knife." "I have this knife." And they hear footsteps on the second floor. And Big John, obviously, you know, what you do in this situation, calls the police, you know, walks outside. No, he locks the door. They're going to kill whoever's inside of that house. That's what you get with marijuana mixed with honey. And homosexuality. Anyways, they go back to the hospital. Tommy Doyle's talking on the phone, saying, you know, oh, and somebody walks in. So now you're seeing the point of view from an individual who's walked into the hospital, and you think it's Michael Myers the way everybody's staring at him. And they, you know, you hear whispers, "It's him, it's him." And you hear whispers and people pointing, and they see in the reflection it's the bald-headed guy that originally stole the doctor and the nurse's car. The other guy that escaped from the mental institution along with Michael, he's asking for help. He's in the hospital. "Help me," says the crazy man. "Help me. Help me." And the mob starts looking at him. And starts looking from really far away. And they're like, "I don't know. Who is that?" says daughter and Lori. And they're saying, "Is it Michael? Is it him? Is it him? It's Michael. It's him." And mom mentality, they all start going crazy, and they all start thinking that it is Michael Myers, and they all start saying, "It is Michael, it's Michael." And the mom starts getting crazy. "It's Michael, Michael, it is. Oh, it's Michael." And Lori's like, I gotta see him. And daughter says, "No, you can't go." And now the crazy man starts running away. He's like, "Oh damn, my kid's to the wrong hospital." Well, he didn't say that, but he's running away. And Tommy Doyle goes through the group. "Evil dies tonight," he yells out, and Tommy is chasing after him, after this crazy man who is not Michael Myers, but again, you know, whatever, it's a mob. What can I tell you? And they're all storming through the doors. It's the "Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight." Say it with me. "Evil dies tonight." Yeah, they're all saying "Evil dies tonight." Really awesome. Really cool. I don't get it. But anyways, they're all walking through, the sheriff and his police deputies, two of them that are left. I don't know if there's any more. And they're all walking through, and the mob is getting crazy. So now they go back to the Michael Myers house. Big John with his fruit knife is walking up the stairs. Little John is closing closet doors with his medium-sized knife. They're basically searching through the house to see who's in the house, who apparently they're going to kill with these two knives. Yeah, you know how this is going to end. So Big John is, you know, yelling out to Little John. They're basically, you know, making sure that they're each there, still alive, by yelling out each other's nicknames. Little John, Big John, Little John, back and forth. Big John goes into one of the rooms. I believe this was the original bedroom. I'm not sure. I'm not one of those people, not an expert that could tell you what room this is in the movie originally, but it looks like it might have been the bedroom where he went in. It's the study now, but it probably was that first bedroom where Michael Myers killed his sister. It looks like it from the point of view and the way it looks, because it's the first door that you see to the left of the staircase. So yeah, I can probably do an image of the original movie and you can see what door that is. So now Little John is downstairs. He's still looking around. Or I'm sorry, I believe he's upstairs too in one of the other rooms. He's going through the drapes trying to see. Big John has left that room. Now he's going into the adjacent room. He's looking through. This is an actual bedroom. There's a mirror there, and I think if I'm not mistaken, that mirror was actually there in the first movie. Obviously, it's not the same mirror, but anyways, homages and whatnot. I like the wallpaper, man. Green wallpaper. It looks really nice. They make green look really good. It's usually a dark color, as you know here. Oh, never mind. Big John just got a knife right through his armpit. Michael Myers, surprise scare, stabbed him right through the armpit, and then proceeds to just jam his 2 thumbs into his eyeballs. So again, like I said, Don't Breathe. I keep thinking this is the guy from Don't Breathe, and if you saw Don't Breathe Part 2, hopefully I'm spoiling that as well. There's a scene where they jam 2 thumbs into a man's head and they pop the eyeballs out. I've never seen people get killed like that, and now in the past month I've seen 2 people die that way. Really weird. Anyways, Little John goes into the room and sees Big John dead, with his bleeding armpit and his 2 eyeballs that have been popped out. He's crying over his body. Little John turns up his head, stands up, and yells out, "Michael!" in a very whimpering voice. Michael turns. I guess he responds to his name, and he says, "You've come home." Michael turns and says, "Yeah, baby, it's me. I'm back." No, he doesn't. He's there holding the knife. He walks very slowly towards. The camera pans out of the outside of the house. You can see the second floor window, and you hear Little John scream. Well, he's probably dead. Or maybe they're dancing. Who knows? They go back to the hospital, and you see the crazy bald-headed guy running away. Help me. Oh, poor guy, man. And the mom is just chasing after him. This part's crazy, man. Laurie sees him and says, "That's not Michael. That's not him." The daughter, they're trying to get the sheep, as Laurie says. It's not him. It's not him. So this is a really good point when it comes to philosophy of people. It's mom mentality. When you get a group of people to believe in something, this is how Mr. Beast gets 23 million subscribers. After you get one of the sheep to follow you, they all follow you. Like, it's just a mindless group and a horde. Hopefully you sheep that are watching this and listening to this can do the same thing. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing this with every movie that we can get our hands on. So the mob is chasing after him. The music is playing really dramatically. The gentleman I say gentleman because I don't know, let's just call him Baldy. Baldy is running away, very scared. Laurie gets hit and she starts bleeding out. Obviously she's been in surgery 10 minutes ago. This is really awesome. They start playing that old school John Carpenter theme, like the old version. I believe this was in Escape from New York, like the old bass, and like really cool. They did a really nice job. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they've contracted John Carpenter's son to do the music, but I'm not sure. The mother of the little boy that got his head on a rake, on the gate in the first movie, she sees his dead body in the morgue and she yells out, and screams. He gets covered up by the music. Police officer and the daughter help out Laurie to get back into her bed. She's still bleeding. You hear on the radio, he's been sighted on site. He's in the hospital. All units. Hospital staff sights him on the second floor. Again, this is Baldy. This is not Michael Myers. Baldy is going up to the second floor. Laurie's daughter is trying to head off the mob. Stop. It's not Michael. You don't know what he looks like. And they just trip over her. They push her down. It's mob mentality, man. You get a big mob, they get crazy. This is what lynching was all about back in the day. So the police officer is telling Tommy Doyle it's not him, get out of the way. Tommy strikes a police officer. That's an offense. He's probably going to go to jail for that. The sheriff is trying to get control, but it's a big mob, man. They can't do anything about it. They're basically just being overcome by the mob. There's just so many of them. The sheriff yells out and screams as he's trying to eat the camera, and they pan back to that bald-headed guy. And if I was him, man, I'd be like freaking out. Laurie is back in the hospital. She's talking to Hawkins, and she's, explaining that she brought the chaos to Haddonfield. It's her fault. And now Hawkins explains something really important, which you didn't see this in the original intro. Hawkins says, "That night that you were attacked, it was not your fault, Laurie. It was mine," says Hawkins. Now they show back to the original scene where him and his partner get attacked by Michael. You saw this in the intro when he shot his partner in the neck. "I was lost in my own regret." They show Dr. Loomis asking Hawkins he's going to kill again. What happened? Man, Loomis looks really good. They hit Michael Myers in the back of the head. Police brutality. They knock him down, and they're going to kill him. They take off his mask. And Hawkins says, inside of that monster is somebody's baby boy. Dr. Loomis has a gun to the back of Michael's head. He's about to shoot him. And Hawkins comes in and makes him miss. So Dr. Loomis was going to kill Michael Myers originally in this remade intro, and Hawkins actually saved his life. And he says, "It's not your fault, Laurie. It's my fault. I should have let evil die that night, but I didn't. Now I know, Laurie. Now I know there's nothing inside of that man but pure evil." And Laurie says, "It's not Michael. It's not him. It's what he's done to these people, what he's done to this town, what he's done to these decent people. You're a good man," Frank says, Laurie. "But now it needs to die. Evil die." Well, she doesn't say that. "Every time somebody's afraid," says Laurie, "the boogeyman wins." And Hawkins, "He needs to die." And Laurie says, "And I'm the one that needs to kill it."
And I'm the one that needs to kill it.
So bald-headed guy, Baldy, is still going up the steps. He's trying to get away from that mob. I'd be trying my best too. Somehow Laurie's daughter has headed off the mob, and she's actually ahead of the mob. She gets up to the one of the top floors. It's the camera is panning from the inside of a room. You see emergency exit, do not block. There's a stairway, and you see through the window, Laurie's daughter sees his foot, I guess, through the side. He's hiding, and now this is Laurie's daughter. "It's not you. It's not you. I know it's not you," she says to the bald-headed guy. "I'm not gonna hurt you," says Laurie's daughter. Music plays very slowly as she creeps to the wall where he's hiding. And Michael Myers pops out and kills her. No, that'd be funny, huh? So she says, "I know you're scared. They're scared too. They don't know any better." No, she didn't say that, but she should have. "She won't let them hurt you." Well, I should say, "She won't let them hurt him," she says. His hand creeps over very slowly. Baldy. She knows he's scared because he's shaking. They show him. He's breathing really hard. He's also a bit overweight, probably out of shape. I mean, he's been in a mental institution for so long. I think he comes out in the first movie when I'm gonna see if I can show him. He's shaking. She grabs his hand. She says she's gonna help him. "Come on, let's go." She grabs him by the hand and she takes him. She's trying to help him survive. "Let go of my hand." And she says she's gonna lock all these doors. So they start locking all the doors so that he could be safe on the inside. And now she locks him in. That's how she helps him, by locking him in there. I don't know. I think if you were to help him, escort him out of the hospital, stand with him, he's not the killer. Look, this is not Michael. But instead, she puts him in a room and locks him in. I'm sorry, that's not how you help. So the mob is making their way up the steps. The mob gets there, and she doesn't do anything. She doesn't say anything. She does nothing. She just stands there. And she's kind of like yelling, "Stop. Stop." The music plays very slowly. It's a very poetic scene. Really good scene. The music is dun-dun. Dun-dun. It's like a really good, track. Through both of the doors, you see that the mobs are trying to get in. Baldy is in the middle, looking around and saying, "Oh man, this is crazy." In his head, I'm assuming. He's not really talking too much throughout this movie. Brackett, Doyle, they look at the mob and they're like, "Uh-oh, maybe this wasn't right." The mob starts to break through the doors. They start breaking through the glass. Baldy covers his ears. He crouches down crying. Piano music plays very slowly, ominously. Baldy breaks a fire extinguisher, and I'm thinking, man, he's going at it. He's like, "All right, you guys are going to come in. We're going to go. If I'm going out, I'm taking you with me." But no, he does what any mental institution patient would do in this situation. The mob says, "Evil dies tonight." Pans outside of the hospital. "Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight." The mob is yelling. Doyle and Laurie's daughter make like a scene where they stare at each other. "It's not him," she says. He says it's not. The bald-headed guy breaks a window inside of the hospital. It looks like he's on the 4th floor, maybe the 5th floor. He breaks out of the window. He steps out of the window on the ledge of the hospital. Meanwhile, the mob is getting closer and closer. They're starting to break in. He stands on the ledge. He looks at the camera very slowly. The mob breaks through the doors. The mob is coming in. The mob is chasing. The mob is coming in. It goes back to Baldy, and Baldy jumps off of the roof and proceeds to commit suicide. Looks like it was the 7th floor, maybe 8th. And he falls down and dies. Very gruesomely, by the way. I haven't seen this since Faces of Death. Really nice. Really nice. I'm telling you, the effects that they used here, they did a really good job. Kudos to whoever, the group that did it. That was nice. I don't know if it's CG. I don't know if it's real. And that's the point. That's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be able to tell one way or the other. It might be a good mix of both. But yeah, he's He's dead. I don't think he's going to be coming back for part 3. I mean, brain splattered, leg broken, dead. The mob gets quiet. They all walk towards him. Brackett finally looks at him and says, "It's not him." Tommy responds, "He's always worn a mask. How do you know it's not him?" Which he's actually right. "How do you know, Lee?" Lee Brackett is his name. The security officer, police guy from the first movie. "Yeah, you're kind of right. Probably," he's thinking. He doesn't say anything. "Now he's turning us into monsters," says Mr. Brackett to the mob. Tommy Doyle looks at the mob, which is now quiet, looks up to where he jumped out of the window. The sheriff with his hat. Damn, they stepped all over his hat. That's messed up. He's looking at his hat. Very sad that they stepped on his hat, I'm assuming. With his mouth open, just looking and like, man, I really like that hat. It was one day away from retirement. No, he didn't say that. They start looking at everybody. They're not really talking. They're just showing all the characters that are still alive. Hawkins in the bed. Laurie in the room with Hawkins. Now they've made it to the past, 1978. Hawkins, the young Hawkins, is saying, "I just wanted to make things right." Police chief tells him, "You did." The killer was choking him. He's telling him the story. Pete was his partner. As he pulled off the gun, it went off. He's basically giving him a cover story so that Hawkins doesn't get in trouble. The chief tells Hawkins to give him his gun. Don't look at it. He takes the gun and he gives him another gun so they can match the bullets. He says it was an accident. He shot himself to Hawkins by the chief. "Your intentions were good. Things don't always work out." Hawkins shakes his head. "I stood in the way," says Hawkins. "It was me." And yeah, so Hawkins got away with killing his partner. Poor Pete. Oh well. Now Laurie and her daughter are arguing. "He's after me. He's after this." Hawkins says, "No, he's not. It was the doctor that took him to your house. It wasn't Michael." Yeah, it's not about Laurie. She still thinks that it's all about her and doesn't realize that the doctor was the one that got them together. So that was another neck injury. They're going back to the original movie, not the original part 1, but the original remade version, where they show the doctor who killed Michael, or tried to kill the guy. Now they go back to the original movie when Laurie takes off his mask and they show that first guy. That guy's not this guy, by the way. Hawkins is explaining, "No, he's a little boy with the strength of a man. He's crazy. My partner died. That night he stood in the same spot." They go back to Pete. "Before he died, he knew. He wasn't looking out." Hawkins says, "Maybe he was looking in." I don't know what that means. Probably some mystical stuff. "He was looking at his reflection, at himself. Who knows?" Laurie's daughter stares at a window and she sees her reflection and she grabs Laurie's hand. Hawkins says, "It always seems he wants one thing. It's always the same thing." And it jumps to Lonnie with transvestite and granddaughter. It said, "Where's he going?" And he says he's going to his house, says Lonnie. And they're tracking a straight line, basically where he's going. So he's been making his way back to his home. Lonnie explains he came face to face with this a-hole. He creeps, he kills, and he goes home. Lonnie explains. That's the pattern. Told you. He has a tom-tom. It's the hospital, it's his house. He only knows one direction. I'm not sure. I guess he was never shown how to go to other places. Sorry, I was asked a question. I probably, hopefully you didn't hear that on the mic. So yeah, now the transvestite granddaughter and Lonnie are going to Michael Myers' home. Tommy Doyle is talking to Laurie's daughter. Says, we're innocent. It wasn't our fault. She says, "What do you mean? You took an entire mob and you killed this and you did that, and an innocent man is dead." Not really innocent. That guy was in a mental institution for a reason. But anyways, the bald-headed guy is dead. Tommy Doyle says, "If I'm going down, I'm going down swinging." So he gets with Laurie's daughter. And Laurie's daughter says, "I need a car." And Tommy says, "I have a car." So they're both going to go to Michael Myers' house. Everybody knows that he's in Michael Myers' house. Michael is in Michael's house. Anyways, now they pull up Mr. Lonnie, transvestite, and granddaughter. And they are at Michael Myers' house. That was pretty quick, actually. The movie's about to end anyway, so it's got to get to the point. Granddaughter says, "The key is that we stick together." And obviously, like the trope says, Lonnie says, "No, I'm going in alone. I'm going into the belly of the beast." Granddaughter says, "Do you really expect me to sit here while you go in there to confront the man who killed my father?" Lonnie is asking them For your sake and my son's, okay, just stay here, says Lonnie. You see anything suspicious, you honk the horn. Oh my goodness, man. The entire movie is mom mentality, mom mentality, mom mentality. And then at the very last scenes of the movie, oh, let's split up and let's go one by one. I'm sure that'll kill him. I mean, come on, man. How bad would it be? Okay, I get it. He's the parent. He doesn't want his kids to get hurt. But what does he think is going to happen? He's going to walk in there. He's going to get hurt, or he's going to find Michael. He's going to yell and scream or whatever. And the kids are just going to stay in the car and honk their horn? Come on, man. Like, see, these are the parts in movies that they go so good. They do such a good job. But then they get so stupid because I know the writers get locked into, wait, so how can we explain this? I know. Let's have them go individually one by one so that we can make the movie, last a little bit longer. Because if all three of them go in there at the same time, we can't really write something good. And you could. If you give it enough of a chance, you could make something where all three of them go in and maybe they surround the house. So they'll split up, but they're all going into the house at different points, But the fact that he's going in by himself while the two kids are waiting inside of the car with the instructions, oh, if you hear something, honk the horn. Come on, man. But anyways, we digress. So Lonnie gets to the door. He knocks to see if somebody lets him in. And the door has been unlocked, which is really odd because if you remember, Big John locked the door. So this was obviously Michael Myers that came down and unlocked the door because he knows what's coming. Lonnie goes in, closes the door, and that's the last we'll see of Lonnie. Granddaughter says this isn't right. Transvestite. And they hear a gunshot really quick. And what do? Obviously, they honk the horn and they drive away. No, they get out of their cars with their guns and they go into the house. I mean, come on, man. Man, you got to do a better job. Such a good movie and you mess it up. But anyways, nobody's perfect, right? Except ReTried and E-Rey-Sir Productions. So now Transvestite and Granddaughter get to the porch. They go in. Granddaughter cocks the shotgun. She's probably ready. Has the flashlight right on it. Really nice. Looks like a good scene. She would be a good character for Resident Evil. Transvestite whimpers in a very soft voice, Dad. And they're creeping into the house. All the lights are turned off. You could hear the creaking of the wooden panels on the floor. Really nice touch. Transvestite calls out to Allison. I'm going to check there. Allison is the granddaughter. I'm going to whisper too because the scene is very impactful. It's very quiet. Very, very good. They see an open closet. Kind of open, but they're going to open it the rest of the way and see what's in there. And they look and they breathe hard. And she gets her finger on the trigger, granddaughter of the shotgun. They close up of her, close up of Transvestite. They kick open the door and she shoots a pumpkin. No, he's not there. I don't know who put that pumpkin there at the height of Michael Myers, pretty much. So she basically annihilated a pumpkin with a gunshot. And now they hear footsteps on the second floor. She cocks back the shotgun, second bullet. And they're looking up. They see some lights on the room. They hear music playing. And there's a picture of Little John with his head on top of Big John's lap, both staring at the camera of the picture that has been taken. There's an old record playing, a very soft, mellow song. I'm sure I get copyrighted for that, but maybe you can hear it. And both the kids, granddaughter and Transvestite, are walking up the steps with their guns aimed. They get up to the second floor. Granddaughter goes to the room. The room to the left, which I thought he died. Oh, yeah, this is the nook. This is the first one, the study. And in the same pose, this is really interesting. Little John has a knife in his neck. He has a knife in his stomach. Big John is the same way that you see in the picture. You see them pose together. Big John has his head on top of Little John's lap. They're both dead, obviously. But it's like a quick example of Michael Myers' psychology and what he is. He's still a child inside. He's killing. He's got the strength of a man. He has the anger of a kid. Because only a kid would do that. He sees a picture and he poses the bodies just like he sees the picture. He's a psychotic little kid. Granddaughter pulls the knife out of Little John's stomach. It's still dripping with blood. Michael Myers is just a sick kid in a big body. That's it. Kind of example of what you have when you have the mind of a child inside of the body of a man. Yeah, it's not a good mix, especially a child that was I don't want to say mistreated, but he's got his problems. It's obvious. It's a weird thing. So now Transvestite walks to a closet where it'll be another jump scare, probably be a skeleton or something, and he walks very slowly, and as he's walking towards the closet, his hands are covered in blood. There's blood dripping from the roof. He looks up and he sees Lonnie's dead. Yeah, Lonnie's been crushed between the attic and the attic door that covers it. As he looks up, oh, Michael Myers jumps out of the closet. He was in there. Lonnie's son shoots, misses. He proceeds to get stabbed on Michael twice. Granddaughter grabs that knife and covers it. She tries to shoot Michael. She misses as well. She stabs him, 3 times. Really nice. She's got good stabbing skills. Stabs him 3 times in the stomach. Doesn't do anything. Gets her head slammed against the rail of the steps, the handrail, and she gets, she gets dropped down the steps. And in a really, really nice scene, she breaks her leg. It looks really good. Like the leg just looks really broken to the side. She starts screaming and yelling, Cameron! And Cameron yells out, Allison! Cameron is transvestite, by the way. Cameron takes the gun. He tries to kill Michael. Michael steps on his hand. And Michael proceeds to, show Cameron what time it is. Throws him to the side of the floor, on the second floor. Puts his head in between the handrail. Starts breaking through the wood panel. Slams his head through the wood panel and starts cracking his head up and down. Like up and down. Up and down. Side to side. Granddaughter yells out, come and get me, MFer, to Michael. Michael stops, looks at her. Transvestite is bleeding pretty hard. He gets his neck slammed again, but he's still alive, which is pretty surprising. And he's just there, hurt, probably broken neck. Michael lets him go, paces very slowly to the top of the steps, looks down at Granddaughter with her broken leg and one knife in her hand instead of the shotgun, the knife. Music starts to play very slowly. Michael starts making his way down the steps, and Michael doesn't kill kids. So there goes Transvestite. He's still there. Michael looks at Transvestite. He probably heard what I said. He grabs his head, both hands covering his ears, and twists his neck. So he basically breaks his neck, like twisting a chicken. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen Michael kill a kid, like on the actual camera. Every other scene has been like covered. So there, he killed him finally. Anyways, Michael keeps pacing down the steps. Granddaughter tries to stab him. She misses. Michael twists her hand, and he's about to stab her with her knife. Granddaughter says, do it, and she yells out, do it, but she's yelling at her mother, who's standing behind Michael with the pitchfork. And Laurie's daughter stabs Michael with a pitchfork in the back. Oh, I can't believe it. He's finally down. Yeah, anyways, she stabs him one time. And what are you doing? Kill him! Come on! Again, the writing. I understand. You need to, progress. You need to make more. So she takes off his mask. And she knows, that's his weakness. He grabs his knife. It's very important that he has that knife. You'll know in a minute. And you kind of see him, bald-headed guy. He kind of looks like, it looks just like that guy from, actually, not this time. He looks a little different. On second viewing, I want to say who he looks like, but I can't really tell. I want to do a screenshot of what he looks like without the mask. I want to ruin it for everybody, but I won't do that. So Laurie's daughter says, you want the mask? Come and get it. Come and get me. You killed an innocent woman. I'm an innocent woman just like your sister was. It was Halloween night. She was in her bedroom, Laurie's daughter says. It was right here. She's talking to Michael. Michael's standing in the doorway. Laurie's daughter says, can you feel it? It was your house. You did it that night. Music starts playing, Halloween theme, really good. Granddaughter broken leg, she can't do anything, she's in the house. Michael starts pacing after her, and this is a nice homage to the original movie where Laurie is, running away. Granddaughter yells out, Mom! Michael is slowly pacing after her. Granddaughter stays in the house, obviously. Laurie's daughter is running with the mask, running away, and the music starts playing the original Michael Myers theme with a little bit of a twist. They have the opera screaming in the background. Oh, really nice, really nice. Laurie's daughter keeps walking. Oh man, this guy's bald. I just noticed that. This Michael Myers is bald-headed too, but he has like a shaved head. I wonder how he got that haircut. Looks pretty slick. You're looking at it from the back panel. He sees his mask really far away. He walks towards his mask. He steps right over his mask. It's in a shadow, so you can't really see what he looks like. You could kind of get glimpses. And a bunch of lights start to turn on from different cars. And the daughter says, gotcha. It was a trap. And here comes the mob. And I was like, damn, finally. What I've always wanted in a scary movie. For one of these boogeymen, these killers, to just be ganged up by a mob. There's no way that he can get through this. And they all have weapons. They all have everything. Brackett holding the gun. Hey, Michael, it's Halloween. Everybody's entitled to one good scare. While he's aiming his gun at him. And you think you got a gun aimed at you, you have all these weapons, sticks, bats. One woman has an iron. I'm sure there's a frying pan somewhere in there. The cool music starts to play. John Carpenter. They show Michael's face with a mutilated eye from the first movie. Really nice touch. You can't really see it because it's covered in blood and it's all messed up, but you can kind of tell. You can see his face, but you can't recognize who he is. They did a really good job. Makeup, really nice, really nice. He puts on the mask, and he's basically like saying, come on, baby, let's go. I'm Michael Myers, man. You don't know who I am. He's holding his knife. They all got their weapons. They all start getting closer to him. Granddaughter, again, is not here. It's the daughter. She's just standing and staring, and Mike's like, let's do it. He tilts his head, and he starts. Boom. He gets hit in the back with a bat. Boom. Gets hit again. One more time. Gets hit again. Michael's getting hit twice. He tries to swing. He misses. They're hitting him. They try shooting at him. They miss. Obviously, he cuts the guy's hand, but now he gets shot. Boom, 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 boom. 4 times. Right in the chest. Michael falls down to the ground. He's getting hit in the back with a wooden piece of wood. It's like a club. Reminds me of Hacksaw Jim Duggan and his old 2x4. He's getting hit. He gets hit with a shovel. Gets hit a couple more times. He's still getting hit. Beat. The lady with the iron finally gets a good hit in. Tommy finally gets a swing with old Huckleberry. And he stops moving, and the mob stops. That's it. I just don't understand. Keep hitting him. Chop his head off. Do something. They all stop. Laurie's daughter gets near the body. Tommy says, be with your daughter. We got this. Michael is trying to reach out. Oh, by the way, he is missing his fingers like he got shot off in the previous movie with his mutilated hand. He tries to grab his knife. He doesn't get to it. Laurie's daughter grabs the knife. Everything's quiet. Laurie's daughter has the knife and stabs him right in the back. Just in the back. Just jams the knife right in his spine. Really nice stab. These 2 girls know how to stab. You hear Laurie's Laurie herself's voiceover. I always thought Michael was flesh, but a man like him can't survive. The more he kills, the more he transcends into something else. Fear. People are afraid, says Laurie. That is the true curse of Michael Myers. Curse of Michael Myers is an homage. Granddaughter is with her daughter in front of Michael Myers' porch. He's here, even though we can't see him. She's not talking about her dad. She's talking about Michael. But it makes it seem that's the same thing they said originally. Laurie goes back in the hospital and says, you can't defeat him with brute force. Hawkins says, if we only knew then what we knew now. Brackett, and with the mob, picks up his gun. And he's about to shoot him, and this was badass. Michael takes the knife off of his back and just killed Brackens. The other guy with the gun tries to shoot him. He's out of bullets. He gets stabbed in the neck. One guy with a crowbar tries to swing at him. Michael breaks his hand, stabs him in the neck. Starts cutting up necks, man. Neck injuries like you can't imagine. He's already killed 4 of the mob. And the rest of the mob, I guess, goes one by one after him because it's a very slow scene. And Mike just starts going to town. I mean, he starts slashing left and right. Oh my goodness, stabbing everybody. And other people are just waiting. You can see people waiting like, hey, what do we do? Do we run away? Do we get stabbed? Do we hit him? And he's just, oh my goodness, he's got a knife through one guy's wrist. Tommy is just staring with old Huckleberry, not doing anything. Probably traumatized. His face is covered in blood, not his blood. Laurie is still doing a voiceover as the terror that grows stronger. It gets deeper. Laurie's daughter looks up into the second floor window and actually sees, it looks like a little kid. I can't tell. I'll probably put that on a screen. I can't tell what that was. I don't know if that was Laurie or if it might have been Michael when he was a little kid. Finally, Tommy tries to get a swing with old Huckleberry and he gets a knife through his heart. And that's the end of Tommy Doyle. For the 3rd time. Yeah, I know. Michael's just staring at him. That mask looks really badass, by the way. With the burnt portion on the left side. They did a really nice job. That mask looks really good. Really, really creepy. Takes the knife out. Tommy falls to his knees. Falls to the ground. He's still kind of alive because he just got a stab. He's got his mouth open. Michael grabs old Huckleberry, the baseball bat. Swings, and just a big pool of blood covers the camera. So Tommy's dead. I'm telling you, man, Michael knows how to kill people. He just killed an entire mob with a knife. A mob that had bats, crowbars, pieces of wood, guns, 2 guns, knives, an iron, old Huckleberry. I mean, damn, that was badass. So Michael's alive. The daughter walks up the steps of the house to the 2nd floor. This part I didn't understand too well. I don't know what was going on here. She sees the dead body of transvestite. She walks up to the 2nd floor. Laurie is still doing the voiceover from the hospital. You can't close your eyes because he's always there. Laurie's daughter walks into the bedroom. She walks into towards the mirror. or the window, I should say, past the mirror. Laurie says he's always there, even if you can't see him, through the voiceover from the hospital. Laurie's daughter breathes in, breathes out. This is what she saw when she looked at the second floor. And Michael Myers is behind her. I can't believe it. Oh, I was so happy when I saw this. And he proceeds to start stabbing her. How did he get up there? I don't know. Because just a minute ago, he was outside with a mob, like a few houses down, and she's getting stabbed, like stabbed and stabbed, and Michael is just stabbing at Laurie's daughter. Music is playing very slowly, very dramatically, and she falls down to the ground. Michael looks at the window, looks at his reflection, kind of gives himself a quick look. Laurie's daughter is on the ground, not moving, not breathing, presumably dead. Laurie is in the hospital looking at a reflection of herself in a window, and it's almost like they're looking at each other. He breathes out, and the movie ends. Man, that was a badass ending. Like I said, remember, this is the spoiler version of this movie. So if all of you are mad that I just spoiled the movie for you, remember, I'm not spoiling the movie for you. What I'm doing is giving you the friendly advice. You know, the guy that was lucky enough to see the movie before everyone else, and he's telling everybody on Monday morning at school what happened in the movie. I was in both ends. I was in the end that I would hear the movie. This happened with The Matrix, and it happened with the original Godzilla in the 90s. As a kid, I was told about these movies, and I couldn't say that I was too poor or too pathetic to actually go see these movies. So I was just like, yeah, I saw that part. Yeah, I saw that part in my head, thinking, oh man, I haven't seen this movie, but I'm going to see it. So hopefully this will entertain. This will give you, the audience, a chance to see or hear or actually listen to what the movie was about. And what I want you to do more than anything is get the Peacock. Get that app. You get it for free, I think, for like 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. Use it, watch this movie, and then, you know, get rid of that thing. I mean, you could use it. They got wrestling. They got a good, you know, plethora of stuff. Peacock, the only thing I would change was the name. I don't think that name is good. P and cock are two things that you do not want to be associated with. But anyways, the credits are rolling. I'm going to tell you that this was a really good movie. I was happy to see it. Like I said, I saw it, and this is my second watch of the movie. I'll probably see it a third time just because it was that good. I can't wait for the third movie. I'm going to let the credits roll as they roll. I wait all the way to the end. This version of Peacock, at least, didn't have anything after credits, so there wasn't anything extra. Maybe there'll be something in the director's cut or whatnot. This is if I'm not mistaken, this movie actually came out. Well, actually, I think it came out. I don't know if it came out on Friday. I'm not sure. If it did, then, you know, so be it. Right now, it's Saturday. It's like, oh man, it is so late. I can't believe I got away with this. But I know my neighbors are mad. I know, hey, too much noise, this and that. But I needed to do this. I needed to do this for a couple of reasons. The main one, I have to do something to get attention to this channel. Hopefully this works. YouTube, if you're listening out there, I'm really sorry. I know copyright rules. I know this is probably going to be another strike against me. You already got me when it was the whole you know, girl with the shorts and the thumbnail. I get it, fine, whatever, you know, nudity and whatnot. There's some good music played in this outro. I would like to. I can show you the credits. I know I won't get in trouble for that, but I can't show you. You can't hear the music, unfortunately. I'm sorry. This was a nice thing. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope ReTried it treated you as best as we could. Like I said, we're trying our best here to just come up with an idea that could actually get attention to this channel. This was nothing more than that attempt. If you made it all the way to the end of this voiceover, this commentary track by your friendly host, Mr. E-Ray-Sir himself, then I'm happy that you did. Please enjoy this movie. Please follow the series, I guess. You know, look at the first movie, the original one, look at the second movie, then look at the remade movie that came out 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, 3 years ago exactly. This movie, and you can find all four movies to connect with each other. Very well done. It's sad that you got to get rid of part 4, part 5, 6, 7, Resurrection, H2O, all that, but it has to be done if you want to follow this new timeline, this new series for the movie itself. It seems much better based on the fact that, she's older, he's older. I don't like that 40 years have gone by and we don't see anything else except a few scenes here and there of what Hawkins went through back in the day and whatnot. I would like to know that throughout those 40 years something happened, that maybe in the next movie you'll see that somebody came to visit Michael Myers while he was in a mental institution and he has some sort of family member, because remember, in this timeline, Laurie is no longer related to Michael. They're not brother and sister. So Michael technically killed his parents and his sister on Halloween night 40 years ago, but I'm sure he has to have other family members. I'm sure he has to have some other type of bloodline. I'm just saying, because the way I would predict part 3 to be, it's going to be another one of those where now, if Laurie's daughter is actually dead, because, the cop Hawkins died in that previous movie and he was alive in this one, so maybe she just got mutilated, stabbed. Maybe it was in her mind. She was outside of the house and she looked at the second floor and there was like an image of some child, so it might have been Michael Myers, it might have been his ghost kid version of him. You know, maybe she was never up there. There's a lot that you can do, so you can't really tell what's real and what's not. You know, this is all teaser for the next movie. It looks like this is about to end. I'll give you my farewells. I would normally give you a bunch of other stuff, but this movie has gone on long enough as it is. It's actually hit the end already. So again, I hope you enjoyed this movie. I hope you enjoyed watching, listening, and remember, we're gonna be doing this with every movie that we could get our hands on. Hopefully, as soon as they come out, we got Peacock, we got HBO Max, we got all them good things that we can screen record on our phones. Oh, streaming. Whoever invented streaming invented bootleg. That's all I'm saying. But this is the reason. You can't see this movie? Go out and get it, man. I recommend it. This is something that you will not be disappointed with. Shudder also has a really good movie, which I tried to do, but somebody beat me to it. The VHS 94. That's also a really good movie. So I'm going to end it right here. As always, your friendly neighborhood ReTried host says, don't forget to charge those batteries.